I like Joseph Anoa'i. He plays the character Roman Reigns on WWE television. I deal with characters almost every day as a movie reviewer. It is our job as movie reviewers to break down characters, break down storylines, and things like that. So I deal with characters almost on a daily basis. Here's the thing. When I'm dealing with the character, I study that character, like I told you before. And the thing with the character of Roman Reigns, it just doesn't make any sense. First of all, he left in 2020. I think it was like in March or April of 2020. And he stayed away because of the pandemic. And that's understandable. Then suddenly he comes back 3-4 months later. And he just attacks Bray Wyatt out of nowhere, and suddenly he's a badass. Just out of nowhere. I don't understand where that came from. And then he starts talking about how people should acknowledge him because he's a tribal chief. What is that? I don't even know what that means. Who made him the tribal chief? Was this something that was decided by the elders in the family? It literally doesn't make any sense. Now, in saying that, I like this new version of the character. As a movie reviewer, I can honestly say this new version of the character is badass. I like it. You know, he looks cool as hell with that music, and he comes down there and talking about acknowledge me, and you know, even though it doesn't make any sense, but it still sounds cool, you know. And this is why I don't think the feud with Roman and Brock makes any sense. We all know that heels are cowardly by nature. Don't get me wrong, I totally understand that. But the part I don't get is that Roman talks all this shit and he's like, oh, I'm going to kick Brock Lesnar's ass. I'm going to make him bleed all over New York. I'm going to make him bleed all over Connecticut, wherever they happen to be. And then the minute Brock Lesnar gets there, he literally runs. This is why I have a problem with it. Because when Roman comes out there, he has a certain look on his face. You can tell that he really believes what he's saying. He really believes that he's invincible. Like, this is something that he believes. So if a person really believes that they're invincible, they're going to go into the fight because they don't believe that they can get hurt. It's sort of like a person that believes they can fly, for lack of a better analogy. If they really believe they can fly, they're going to jump off of a cliff because they believe that they will sprout wings and fly. And so, from what you're telling me as a writer, Roman Reigns suffers from delusions of grandeur. Roman Reigns believes that he's more important than he really is. So my question to you, as a movie reviewer, as somebody that studies characters, that deals with characters on a day-to-day basis, you're telling me that somebody that believes that they are larger than life, somebody that believes that they are more important than they really are, they're going to run from you when they see you? No, it doesn't make any sense because they believe that they are better than you. They believe that they are superior to you. If this guy truly believes this, and he's saying how much better he is than Brock Lesnar, and he believes that he's a tribal chief, even though nobody knows what the fuck that means, but he believes it. I'm the tribal chief. I'm the head of the table. I'm better than Brock Lesnar. So if you really believe that, why are you running from Brock Lesnar? It doesn't make any sense. Yes, I know heels are cowardly by nature. But even a heel will grow a set of balls and attack you at some point. Yeah, he attacks Lesnar here and there. But for the most part, he either has the Usos do his work for him, or he'll have some group of security people try to stand in the way only for Brock Lesnar to throw them all over the place. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Chris Jericho turned heel in 2001, and even he had the balls to attack The Rock. He didn't run from The Rock. Triple H was the biggest heel of all time. And when The Rock said, hey, just bring it, Triple H said, fine, you want to go? Let's go. We can go. He said that to The Rock in 2000, and he said it to The Rock in 2002. He said, look, if you want to go, let's go. We can do this. Anytime, any place. I'll beat your ass. That's what Triple H told The Rock. But with Roman Reigns, with this guy, he talks all this shit. Oh, I'm the tribal chief. I'm the head of the table. And then he runs like a little bitch. Literally. He just runs. He's like, oh, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. And it doesn't make him look like a badass heel. He just looks like a punk. It's laughable because you were talking all this shit a few minutes ago, and now you're running. He's literally contradicting himself. It doesn't make any sense, storyline wise. And then some people say, well, The Rock ran before. Yes, he did. He did run in 2003. But that was only because he was like a Hollywood stuck up type of dude. He didn't want to get his hands dirty. But before he went to Hollywood, when he was still heel in 98 and 99, he challenged Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he didn't run anywhere. He stayed there to throw his ass off a bridge. That's a badass heel to me. But Roman Reigns is not doing that. He's like, oh, I'm going to beat your ass. I'm the tribal chief. I'm the head of the table. And then as soon as Brock gets there, he just runs. This feud is just as stupid as Kevin Owens versus Stone Cold. The only difference is that at least both of them are there to carry the feud. Don't even get me started on Kevin Owens and Stone Cold all over again, because that's just a pile of shit. I mean, Kevin Owens is the one talking all this shit, and Stone Cold does this 2-minute video. This is one of the worst feuds I've ever seen in the modern era. I'm telling you guys, like, the writing is horrible. You're the tribal chief, but you run? Oh, I gotta get out of here. I literally laughed when he said that. Like, you can't take him seriously, even as a character. You can't suspend your disbelief. Because he's supposed to be such a badass, but he runs? That would be like one of the mob bosses running from somebody. From the Godfather movies, or Goodfellas, or Casino, or Heat, or any of those other mob movies, if they were running from somebody. Can you imagine Joe Pesci running from somebody? And he plays a mobster, or he used to, you know what I mean? Like, Roman just, he doesn't, he's not believable. Tribal chief. More like tribal bitch. And this is not talking about the person in real life. This is talking about the character. He just can't be taken seriously. Oh, I'm the tribal chief. I'm the head of the table. Then soon as Brock Lesnar comes out, oh, I'm leaving. What the hell kind of feud is this? They should have at least had one attack the other each week. But Brock Lesnar's doing all the heavy lifting. Just like Kevin Owens is doing all the heavy lifting with his feud with Austin. Austin's not doing anything. What is Austin going to do? Show up on Monday night? And then they're going to wait till Sunday? Like, these writers, man, I'm telling you, these are two of the worst feuds I've ever seen. That's not the way a feud works. With a feud, it's literally tit for tat. They do something to you, then you do something to them. Then they do something to you, then you do something to them. They literally do the same thing every week. Brock Lesnar comes out there for like 1 minute, talks about Roman Reigns, and then he leaves. And then Roman Reigns is like, yeah, that's what I thought. He better not be here. When I get here, I'm the tribal chief. This feud is stupid. Tribal chief. More like tribal bitch. This is a dumbass feud. It's just as stupid as Kevin Owens and Stone Cold because only one person is keeping the feud going. Stone Cold, I don't even think he's tweeting. I don't even think he's making videos. He's not doing anything. Oh my goodness, let me get out of here. I'm out. Follow me on all forms of social media at the Myers Fan 25. I approve this message.